Hi, welcome to class. My name is Kelly. Today we're going to work on core with some creative moves that will challenge your midsection, front, side and back. All you need is a mat. Lie your mat out side onto me like this. Keep some water handy for hydration and let's get started with a warm-up. Do wear shoes today because we will be doing some standing work. So some sturdy athletic shoes will be great. Let's begin. Inhale, reach up. Pull down right, reach up left. Inhale up. Pull down left, reach up right. Inhale up. Exhale, hands come down. Roll your shoulders back 2 times, big circles. Now hinge at the hips. Lift up. Press your hips forward and open the front of the hips and chest. Hinge. Knees are soft. Lift up and press forward. Now squat down and up. Gotta heat up the body with some squats. Even though today's class is focusing on the midsection, we will have some integrated whole body movements. That includes a squat. Give me 4 more. Keep your chest up, sit back through your hips. Now squat down. Reach across to the left, swivel your right foot. Squat again. Reach to the right, swivel your left foot. One more each side. Reach across, thumb up. Reach side to side, reach. Release your heel so you can swivel the foot, move your hips, rotate the whole body. Pull back through your opposite elbow, thumb up. Reach out level with your shoulders. 8 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Big deep breath in, reach up. Take your wrist. Pull up and over. Other side. Pull up and over. Come back to the center. Both elbows pull back. Hands come down. Bring your feet wide. In a really wide stance. Toes pointing straight ahead. Shift across to the right, stretching your left inner thigh. Press your hips forward, open the chest. Shift across to the left, sitting back. Bring your hips forward. Now lift up, bring your heels in, toes out, squat down into a sumo squat. We have a sumo squat today. I want to warm you up for it. Press your knees back, stretch your groin, drop your right shoulder down, look up over your left shoulder. Other side, press your left knee back as you drop the left shoulder down, look up over your right shoulder. Come back to the center, press both knees back, bring your toes forward, squat, lift up, roll your shoulders, bring your feet hip distance apart. Take a big step back with your right leg onto the ball of your foot. Lift your chest, take your right hand, reach up. Pull down with your left elbow. Both hands come up. Both hands pull down. Bring your hands onto your thigh and press your heel into the floor, stretching the calf. Now lift up and press the heel. Four more. Press the heel. All 10 toes face forward, warming up the calf and ankle. Step forward. Step your left leg back onto the ball of your foot. Big step back. Take your left hand, reach up. Pull down with your right hand. Both hands up. Both hands come down onto your thigh. Press your heel to the floor, stretching the calf. Now lift and roll through your ankle. Press your heel to the floor. Keep all 10 toes facing forward. That's super important. Three, 2, and 1. Step forward. Roll both shoulders back. Separate your feet. Hinge forward at the hips. Lift your tailbone up and come up. Roll your shoulders back. All right, we are warmed up and ready to go. I'm going to start my timer. We'll do each move for about 50 seconds, so almost a minute. We'll have some transition time in between each exercise. We're doing 2 moves for 2 sets for 4 different sequences. We're starting with a golf chop. So for this one, step off your mat. Have your feet a little wider than your shoulders, and your toes are pointing approximately straight ahead. Lace your fingers, lift your chest and squat down. Now chop over your right shoulder, swivel the foot, squat down, chop over your left shoulder, swivel the right foot. Here we go, release the heel, squat, release the heel, squat, up, and squat. So each time you chop with some power, you release the heel to allow the hip to rotate. Let's do it one more time, each side. Squat and chop, squat and chop. Shake out the legs, roll your shoulders back, kickstand hinge. Stand on your right leg with a soft knee. Kickstand your left foot so you're on the ball of the foot. Bring your hands to your thighs, lift your chest, pull your shoulders back. Now hinge at the hips and lift up. Keep 80% of your weight on your right leg. Now you want to make this a little more challenging. Bring your hands to your opposite shoulder and just bow forward. Keep your chin in a neutral position, slightly tucked, so that the back of your neck stays long as you hinge forward. Shine your taillights up the back wall and come up tall. Two more. Done. All right, we repeat that for one more set. Step back off your mat. That allows your foot to pivot, so I don't want you on a sticky surface, especially if you have a yoga mat. Lace your fingers, loop your thumbs, chest up. Let's begin. Golf chop, squat and chop. Squat, chop to the left. Squat, chop, like you're picking something off the floor and throwing it over your shoulder, a little bit like shoveling. Use the powerful muscles in your hips and thighs, and then finish like a whip with your upper body. Chop, swivel the foot, sit back. One more each side. Sitting back. Here's the last one. Okay, kickstand hinge. Left leg, other side. So stand on your left leg. Kickstand your right foot. Keep 80% of your weight on the left leg. Let's start with the hands on the thighs. Lift your chest, pull your shoulder blades down and back. Let's begin. Hinge, sitting back. So you draw the hips back. Keep the knees soft. For more challenge, bring your hands to your opposite shoulder. Inhale down, exhale as you come up. Draw the hips back. Come up tall. Hinging at the hips. Like a door that's opening and closing. Feeling the work in your glute and hamstring, the back of your thigh. Feel that stretch? Draw up from the stretch. Done. Okay, shake out your arms. Roll your shoulders back. Let's move on to our next 2 moves. Remember, we do 2 moves for 2 sets. Then we'll be moving to the mat. Okay. So bring your feet wide apart with your toes slightly turned out. If you were standing on a clock, You'd be at 2 and 10 with the balls of the feet, slightly turned out. Take your right hand, reach up overhead. Now lift your chest up, squat, and come up. Other side, squat, and come up. Now that reach is going to engage the postural muscles in your upper back and mid back. Thumb points back. Sit back with one hand on your thigh, hinge forward slightly at the hips. Draw your hips back. Open your knees just like you did in the warm-up. Push the floor away with your heels as you come up. You'll feel your inner thighs. One more. Very good. Now come off your mat again, if you were on it. Let's bring your feet about shoulder distance or a little wider. Lace and loop. Diagonal chop. Bring your hands over your right shoulder. Swivel your left foot. Chop and chop. Chop and stop. Chop and stop. Swivel the feet on each of the chops. So release the heel. Chop and stop. So powerful, fast, and strong. You chop down with speed, but then you stop the movement on each chop. Chop and stop. Lift. Chop down towards your left thigh and then back up to your right shoulder. Chop and stop. Done. All right. Sumo squat. Back to that alternating overhead sumo squat. Bring your feet wide. Toes are turned out to 10 and 2. Let us begin. Right hand up. Squat. Left hand up. Now, depending on your shoulder and back flexibility, you may or may not be getting your arm all the way up. Just get it as high as you can. Sit back through your hips, hinge forward slightly. You'll feel this in so many different places. It is an exercise that strengthens a lot of the postural muscles in your back, as well as strengthening the legs, the glutes, and your lower back muscles as well. Here's the last one. And come on. Good. Shake out your legs. Roll your shoulders back. Step off your mat. Let's go to that diagonal chop. Feet are a little wider than your shoulders. Lace and loop. Bring the hands up to your left shoulder. Swivel the right foot. Lift your chest. Bring the hands up. Let's begin. Chop and chop. Chop up. Chop down to your right thigh. Chop up just above your left shoulder. Release the heel on each chop. Come up tall as you chop up. Bend both knees so you're in a little bit of a squat on the chop down. Chop and lift. Chop down with some power. Strong and powerful. Last one. Let's go down to the mat for some mat work. We have 4 different moves, so 4 moves that we're going to do for 2 sets. Starting with a bird dog. So come to all fours. Hands are directly underneath your shoulders, knees directly underneath your hips. Press your shoulder blades down your back. And let's begin. Opposite arm and leg stretches out and down. Out and down. Now as you stretch out, reach. Keep your hips square and level. Inhale and exhale. Reach all the way out. Thumb up, palm in. Hips level. One more each side. And come down onto your side for a side bridge. Now your elbow is directly underneath your shoulder. That's super important. Bend your knees so you've got your knees stacked and your feet behind you. Press your shoulder down away from your ear so that your neck is free and long. Now lift up, lifting the hips. Stack your hips and stack your knees. You're going to feel a strong contraction underneath the side of the torso. You'll also feel a strong contraction in your shoulder. Press your hips forward. You can come down anytime. Hold it if you can. Keep breathing. Lift your chest a little more. Breathe. Three, two, one. Come all the way down. Now come onto your side and then roll onto your back. Dead bug. Take your right hand and your left leg. Press them together. Your right arm is straight and your left knee is directly above the hip. Right hand up, left leg up. Stretch out and in. Press your hand into your knee and your knee into your hand. Hold your lower back stable so there's no movement in the pelvis or the spine. Because if your pelvis moves, your spine's going to move. They're attached. So no movement. The leg moves. The spine stays stable. Almost there. Last one. And come down. Roll over onto your tummy for a forearm plank. Come onto your forearms. Bring your elbows underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes under. Lift your knees. Now hold here. We're focusing today for our core work on the mat on stabilization. We did a lot of mobility core, standing. Now we're working on stabilization. What we mean by that is that you're working on keeping your abdominals firm and stable, no movement. You're isometrically strengthening the abdominals, and that's an important function for your abdominals. Keep breathing. That's super important when you're doing isometric exercise. 3, 2, 1, come down. All right, second set. Those are our 4 exercises. Walk your knees in, stretch your hands out, press down for a quick stretch. Now bring your hands in. Back to the bird dog. Hands under shoulders, spread your fingers, knees under hips. Opposite arm and leg, let's go. And down, other side. out. Keep your hips square and level. Keep your head aligned with the rest of your spine. Once you've seen it, your gaze is down, but your head is not dropping. Head's aligned with the spine. Hips are square and level. One more each side. Good. All right, side bridge. Let's move to the other side. Elbow directly underneath your shoulder. That's super critical. Lift your chest, bring your hand down your thigh. Now lift your hips up. So you've got a straight line from your head to your knees. Now breathe. These isometric exercises are not very exciting, but they're very effective. So breathe and know that every second you hold this, you're getting stronger. This strengthens not just your core, but also the side of your hip and your shoulder. Keep your chest lifted, stack your chest, stack your hips, so your shoulders are stacked and your hips are stacked. 3, 2, 1, come down. Dead bug. Move back onto your back. Pick your feet up off the floor. Other hand. So I did my right hand last time. I'm doing my left hand on my right knee. Arm is straight, that's important. Knee over hip, hand up. Let's begin. Stretch out and stretch in. Push your hand into your knee and your knee into your hand. Thumb points straight back on the hand that's moving. Make sure you're breathing. Inhale as you reach, exhale as you come in. We're building stability in the core. One more. Very good. Roll over. Plank. It's our last move. You come onto your forearms. Bring your shoulders over your elbows. Tuck your toes under. Lift up. Now lift the back of your head up. So your head's not dropping. It's aligned with your whole spine. The hips are neither piked nor sagging. Your chest is open. Legs are straight. If you need to take a break, just bring your knees down, take a rest, and then lift up. Second set is always more challenging than the first set. We are almost there, about 15 seconds. Lift from underneath. 5, 3, 2, 1, come down with the hips. Flatten out the feet, the front of the feet. Separate your hands. Spread your fingers. Press your chest between your arms. Squeeze your glutes. And let's just stretch out your abdominals. Lift your navel towards the spine. So lift the abdominals in and up. And point your tailbone down, squeezing your glutes. Now lift up the hips. Walk your hands back just a little, keeping your hips high. Press down through your chest and shoulders. Allow your head to hang in between your arms. And lift your hips high. Press down through your chest and shoulders. This stretch is so important for your shoulders and upper back mobility and alignment. Walk your hands in and come onto your side, lying all the way down. Take a hold of your bottom foot and pull back. Bring your top leg down and lie back. Spinal rotation with a leg stretch. Split your legs apart. So you're splitting your legs apart, rolling your shoulder back. Breathing into the stretch. Release the bottom foot, bring the knees in and press up. Let's do the other side. So come all the way down onto your side, swing around. Take your bottom foot, or thereabouts. Bring the top knee down and lie back. Roll your top shoulder back and breathe into the stretch. Breathe into the stretch. Easy, easy. And then release the bottom foot. Bring your knees together and roll onto your back. Take a hold of both thighs and pull your legs towards your body. Let your tailbone curl up and stretch out your low back. Now release the knees just a little and then rock in. Just gently mobilizing the low back. We did a lot of exercises today that are so good for your posture, alignment, and core stability. This all adds up to a healthier back. Let's do one more. Rock the knees in. Put your feet down. Bring your hands out to the side. Now lower your knees side to side. Keep both shoulders flat as you rotate the knees side to side. Stack your feet. Exhale as you lower. Let's do one more rotation each side. And roll onto your side. Let's come up to standing. Take your time. Let your blood pressure equalize. Come up to your knees and lift up to high kneeling. Now from here, bring one leg forward. Tuck your back toes under, hand on the thigh. Press up to a squat. Hold here. Lift up. Let's take a big deep breath in, reaching up. Pull down on the right, reach up left. Inhale, reach up. Pull down on the left, reach up right. Inhale up. Open through your chest and shoulders. Now, open the chest. Pull back. Squeeze between your shoulder blades, hands come down. Tilt your right ear over to your right shoulder. Let's stretch the neck. Now hold that stretch. Roll your left shoulder forward, up, and back. 2 more times, please. Forward, up, and back. 1 more time. Forward, up, and back. Lift up. Other side. Tilt the left ear over to the left shoulder. Keep your knees soft as you stand there now. Roll your right shoulder forward, up, back, and down. 2 more times. Forward, up, back, and down. And lift up. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, hands come down. One last time. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, hands come down. Roll your shoulders back. We are done. I hope you feel strong, stable, and maybe a little taller. We did some really good stretches as well as strengthen all the muscles that